Greetings from Storybrooke. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm the Dark One.
And this is the withered knob of that sad old man. We also talk about ABC's hit series Once Upon a Time. How you doing, Emery?
I'm dark and brooding.
Have you finalized your winter yet? You know why? Because it was the winter finale.
What?
And
I was
started.
trying to find my... Oh, there it is. Excalibur!
Excalibur. Shorter than ever. It's almost like there's a dagger missing out of it or something.
Or like it is just a dagger. Again.
Ooh, spooky.
Spoilers!
But we're here at 8:30 p.m. EST at live.universebox.com and Alpha Geek Radio,
Woo!
as usual. Monday nights, I think I said, 8:30 p.m. EST. And we also have our chatters here. We have
a big party of chatters going on.
Yeah, we have 15
I
in there so far. Swan Fire Forever, Bobby, Amy, guest, Amy P, other Emery, Swan Fire Forever again, Amy P.
Not so charming, Stephanie,
Bobby,
Sage.
Michael, not so charming. I like that one.
I like that.
Swan Fire Forever, again and again. Yeah, and if I didn't mention, we're also streaming out on Alpha Geek Radio.
Alpha Geek, woo!
Because Alpha Geek is awesome, and we love them. And if you're listening on Alpha Geek, say
Let
hey.
us know.
Yeah, at GF Storybrooke is the Twitter, or at Bill Meeks, or at AM
DeSimone,
etc., etc.
It's at the bottom of my thing when it's just me.
Yeah, definitely. But I guess we should go ahead and get started with our rhyming summary, and then we'll get started talking about this wonderful, wonderful episode. Go ahead, Emery.
The Dark Ones descend on fair Storybrooke, brought back to life by the dark Captain Hook. We meet his dad 100 years prior, along with the brother he seems to have sired. Our heroes are marked for a journey to hell. Can Emma save them without more hair gel? Some things feel quite right, but more feels quite wrong. Notes flurry by in this week's Swan Song.
Swan Song! Emery, what you think?
Okay, so let's go with what I thought. Last night, watching it, I feel like I actually enjoyed the experience of watching it. Sure, there was issues. We all know that. It's an episode of Once Upon a Time. Yeah. There are issues. Okay, I'm sorry to be in the dark one, by the way. However, the more and more I was on the internet, like today, it was nothing but hate and anger and cranky, and it invaded my brain, so I apologize if I've turned a little more haterade than I meant to.
Liters of haterade spilled on the internet.
You know what? There really
today.
was liters of haterade spilled all over the place.
I knew it was bad news when I went to check just to see general reactions and stuff over on the Once Upon a Time subreddit, and there was, during the episode discussion, post-episode discussion, rant thread. Like all official
rant thread.
Official posted by the mods.
Rant thread.
Yeah, rant thread. So yeah.
There's reason to be ranty. There's reason to be haterade. Oh, the queen has joined. I wonder which queen it is. But I enjoyed watching it. I just apparently back in reflection, I don't enjoy it as much.
Well, the thing is, I really enjoyed it all for the last 5 or 6 minutes. No, it's fine. Just don't do that on the mic anymore. We were talking about that before the show. I really enjoyed it up until the last 4 or 5 minutes, which completely almost spoiled the entire episode for me. But that's my first point, so I guess I'll get started.
Let's just get right into it.
Okay, Rumple's regression in this episode. Okay, so Rumpelstiltskin has been a sticking point / my favorite thing about this entire season. Because they've been walking back his character a lot to make him be a coward. Retroactively a coward from his origins back in, 100 years ago, fairy tale.
Oh, it's way more than 100 at this point, but let's just throw all timelines out the window.
But, down to the thing I liked about it, though, was that, they've been building it up to be this big hero and everything, and they completely walked it back in this week's episode. They've been aiming for him to stand redeemed, like I said, even rewriting his character history and destroying his relationship with Belle, completely and utterly decimating it. Utterly decimating it. Yep. And it's like, if you did all that, if you walked back so much of your writing over the entire series to get him to this point, why throw it all away in the last 5 minutes of the finale? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you didn't watch the episode 1, what are you doing watching this
Why are
podcast?
you here? Why are you here?
But they completely made him the Dark One again. Now he has the power of all the Dark Ones,
Including Emma. Whoa.
But I mean, it was even in this episode, they were doing things that sort of indicated that he was going to have this heroic turn because
he would let her Belle go.
Yeah, he made this completely altruistic move. As I predicted last week, he was the bigger man in the breakup. He was like, you know what? She might have broken my heart, but you know what? Death's here. I'm going to send her out of town so she doesn't have to deal with it.
Right.
And, it just, I don't know, it really bugged me.
Grr, lots of grr.
Yeah, it's just, sorry, I get so flustered. I get so flustered over Rumpelstiltskin because
I know you do. He's the reason you watch it.
Yeah, he's always my big hook into this show, which we'll talk more about later. His selfishness and his this desire he had for power, I really feel like it should have left with the dark power because I mean we were given every indication that it had.
Yes.
And why throw away this chance to redeem him? It also one sticking point I had when Belle comes back at the end. She says, for the first time, with this act that I mentioned, the selfless act to be true.
The selfless act.
For the first time you were truly selfless, she says. And,
Lies.
The bear episode earlier this season, fighting Hook last week's episode, Peter Pan dying to save everyone from Peter Pan. Either Belle hasn't been paying attention or I don't know.
No, she hasn't.
She's got a curse on or something. So,
well, she probably does have some other random curse placed on her by somebody. But
yeah. And she's asleep again.
She honestly might as well be asleep. And it makes me so mad. So very mad because I love Belle. I was so excited when they're like, Belle is coming. Like way back in the day. And now, like, she started off pretty strong. She's had some good, like, moments. But mostly just go to sleep. Because that's all. Like, just go sleep in the back room and miss everything. Because...
have relations with Rumple and go to sleep.
It's only because Emily DeRaven's pregnant. That's the only reason.
But, seriously, this whole reversal on the Rumple situation might be the most disappointed I've ever been in the show. More than Merida, more than the Frozen arc, more than killing Jared Joseph, a.k.a. Billy Buchanan, a.k.a. Gus Gus, who I hope comes back in the Hell episode, because Lord knows he's in Hell.
Friend of the show.
the fact that they turned him back into the same slippery, dark one underneath it all, it makes me feel like the characters on the show can never really grow, which all makes it feel a bit pointless, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess they they haven't walked back Regina again yet, but I mean that was
it's coming because Regina sent. Well, nah.
That was the thing with Regina for years. She would evil, not evil, evil, not evil, and now I guess it's Rumple's turn to, take 3 steps forward, 2 steps back over and over and over again. But a couple of things to bring up concerning this new development here. Okay, so he has the power of all of the Dark Ones now, and he's the only power player left behind in Storybrooke. What do you think is going to happen to the town in the hero's absence?
There's nobody there. I mean, they're just going to live. It's going to be like, what was it, the 6 weeks when they were all gone?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like.
Oh, just like we get one little flashback or one little like peek at it.
Like when they're coming back or whatever and be like, it's been so quiet with everybody gone. Yes, because even Rumple's gone this time.
No, Rumple's not gone.
Yes, Rumple went with them.
No, he stayed on the shore.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure. We'll get clarification in the chat room. Let us know in the chat room.
I could have. No, he went. He's in the promo. He's in the promo,
but I think in this episode he stayed on shore. And the thing is, well, we won't talk about the promo until we get to the promo, but there even if you see a character in Storybrooke in the promo, it doesn't mean that they
But he was with the crew.
Was he with the crew?
He was with the people.
I also have some theories on that coming up.
I'm sure you do.
Definitely. But if anyone in the chat room knows for sure, I thought, and I paid attention the second time that he stayed on shore.
I paid attention.
I could be wrong. Please let us know one way or the other.
Let us know who's right. Team Bill or Team Amory.
But I've Okay, well, in that case, the point might... Rumple went, Bobby says. Okay, so I guess I was wrong.
Bobby is almost always Team
I
Anne
guess
Marie.
I was wrong. So I guess he won't be attacking the fairies who have all the kids now. But again, we'll talk about that later. One other thing I was kind of wondering. Okay, other Anne Marie says, Bill, that's what I thought too, but the promo shows him going.
Oh, he meets Peter Pan. Yes, in the promo.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean he because he didn't go with him in this episode, I don't think.
Yes, he got in the boat, or
you
they
sure
all
he got
walked
in
towards
the
the boat. Yes.
I wish I could check this out now, but we're doing a podcast, so I can't.
Okay, fine. Somebody pull it up. I know you've got it.
Okay, but let's see. One other thing I wanted to mention, though, that Rumple says when he's giving Excalibur over to Emma and Queenie Gal, Regina, he says that Excalibur chooses its miracles.
Right.
Why would Excalibur choose to give the darkness back to Rumple? Because obviously he's giving Excalibur some sort of wisdom, inherent wisdom. Why would Excalibur, who would obviously know that Rumple dumped the bottle of magic onto it.
It was squid ink, I'm sure, because that's all we can use around here now.
But would obviously know that had happened. Why would Excalibur let Rumple get the darkness back unless it was towards some end?
I have no idea how that entire situation happened.
Mm-hmm.
We had one whole Excalibur, which also includes the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
We had to have the fire of the original flame to put it together and to separate it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, like, we could nullify Excalibur, except we could tether all of the darkness to it momentarily to stab Hook, which that shouldn't have worked with all of this. And where did the dagger come from? Did it just like materialize? Because Rumple was on the shore with them during all of that because he had the dark mark.
Well, did he get drawn there? I mean, there were other characters who didn't necessarily get drawn.
Yes, he was there.
Was he there?
Yes, yes, they did not get drawn there, but everybody else did.
Yeah, lots of craziness, lots of craziness. But you wanted to talk a little bit about Hook, right?
I mean, yeah, sure. Okay.
Hook it up.
Hook it up. I have no idea who Hook really is trying to get revenge against because he says over and over again, I'm going to get that crocodile. I'm going to get that crocodile, blah, blah,
the
blah.
crocodile.
Blah. Crocodile, blah, blah, blah. Okay, why didn't he just kill him? He had how many opportunities to just kill him?
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Man up. Kill the crocodile.
Well, maybe they were they going to need his blood to open up the...
He already... Okay, but he had that after
again?
the first fight.
Well, maybe it got washed off when he put the hook in the water. Honestly, I don't know. That was another weak part I felt too, because that confrontation they had on the back road there.
Yeah,
that would have been the perfect time to do it. Just done.
Done. I'm ignoring whatever I just see. Who is that? Not so charming. That was. Okay, or I think Hook was trying to get his revenge against Emma. Because that's the only way it makes sense to be bringing this team of Dark Ones in
to take her family
with
away.
her family and friends to the underworld.
Well, to be fair, he did have a pretty big beef with Emma too.
Well, yes, and that's why I'm saying I don't know who he really, because he kept saying that he was going after Rumple. Smeh.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but ultimately, he didn't get revenge because he realized, you know what, he's not a bad guy. He might have killed his daddy, but he's not a bad guy. Hook.
Everybody and their daddy issues.
Hook is the true hero.
Hook is not.
Hook is the. No, he is. You know why?
No.
Well, he dies a hero. Because of his heroic sacrifice. But also, Rumple says in that same scene where he's giving Emma and Queenie Gal, a.k.a. Regina, the Excalibur, says that Excalibur is destined for the hands of a true hero. So it wouldn't have worked for Hook if he hadn't been a true hero, is basically what Rumple was saying there.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he dies a hero, if, according to Excalibur, he is a true hero, will he even end up being in the hell they're going to?
They're not going to hell. They're going to the underworld, which is because they've clarified this in some interviews that this is where everybody goes where they have unfinished business. This isn't like hell.
At the same time, though, it was described by Rumpel as a place where you're punished, where it's awful, where,
Because he probably went to hell.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it was described, the underworld was described by him as, wailing and gnashing of teeth and kind of the traditional hell. And so I'm wondering, would Hook even deserve to go there? And I mean, Hook really doesn't even have any unfinished business, does he? I mean, obviously he still loves Emma, but a lot of people love people and die.
Yep.
So
happens.
I'm kind of seeing that maybe there might be a situation where they get to hell or the underworld, and they're there to save Hook, and he's totally not there. He's totally somewhere else, and they're stuck there.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
With all of the dead villains, which I think would be pretty awesome.
And Neil, because bring back Neil.
But I kind of feel like Hook redeemed himself with that altruistic act, even if it didn't turn out so well.
I still don't understand how Emma stabbing him, got rid of her darkness too.
It all funneled out into it was all supposed to, because remember how she was talking about the plan with Zelena?
Yeah, I never understood
a few weeks ago. It was basically get all the darkness into the sword, stab someone with the sword, all the darkness goes into them, overtakes them, dead. Was my understanding of it.
Yeah.
And the reason Excalibur had to be used to do that is because Excalibur is the only thing that can kill a dark one.
Yeah.
So and can also hold the power of the dark one.
So much confusion.
But I'm glad that Hook finally managed to figure out what kind of dude he is. As they said many times throughout this episode, the exact quote was, "What kind of dude are you?" What kind of dude are you? Dude, what kind of dude are you, dude? But I'm glad he finally fought past the darkness. But I think he was way darker as a dark one than Emma was the entire season. Like, we had this great promise of Dark Swan and what's her name? What's the name of the actress who plays Emma? I'm just completely
Jennifer Morrison.
There we go. But she went to like a library in New York City and studied these ancient fairy tale tomes about darkness and this, that, and the other to get prepared for it. Yeah, and she didn't really do anything that dark this season. Like, she didn't kill anybody. I think the worst she did was take Merida's heart a couple times, which who wouldn't? So I mean, no big loss there. I think she's done worse, darker things as the Savior than she did as Dark Emma the entire way, with the exception of, you might say, bringing Hook back to life, because that was kind of a dark move, especially when he was like, "No, whatever you do, don't do it." And she was like, "No, I'm just going to bring you back to life. No big deal."
Right. Okay.
So it should be interesting. Like I said, again, my overarching theory is that they're going to go to the underworld to save Hook, and he's not going to be there. But
Emma,
you had some thoughts on Emma too.
Oh, I have a major thought on Emma. She's a selfish brat, is what she is. Killian asked her twice to just let him die. He loves her. It's been said over and over, blah, blah, blah. Let me die a hero. Let me die for this. We're good. We're good. I'm done. And she keeps talking about everybody she loves dying and leaving her. But she is literally surrounded by her entire family. And instead of accepting his wishes and moving right along with her family and, her kid, she's like, "Nope, we're going to the underworld, everybody." Because I'm sure he's going to be so happy being brought back from the dead. Because dead only means dead if you're Neil.
Well, that's very true. Because
really
he deserved to die.
Because literally every other character gets to be re-seen in some way, shape, or form.
Because Neil deserved to die. That's why.
Yep, apparently.
No, but Emma had some other selfish things she did too, such as abandoning their farewell dinner.
Yep.
Breaking her promise to come and see them.
Yep.
And if she had failed, then and they had been taken to the underworld anyway, then baby Neil would have been baby Steeled or baby Keeled or baby Neiled or something other than happy baby Neil being raised by his older sister. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that was very selfish. I think her arc for the season in a lot of ways was her being selfish because she constantly thought she knew better than everyone around her, and especially even people who were maybe wiser than her, like say a Merlin, like demonstrably wiser than her. You know, not just someone like Gold or someone who thinks they might be wiser than her, but yeah, Emma's selfish.
Emma's selfish. Like,
maybe it should have been.
People die, dude.
Maybe it should have been hashtag selfish swan, or dark selfish, or some.
Dark Shellfish.
Dark Shellfish. I like that. That might be the episode title.
Dark Shellfish.
Dark Shellfish.
You're typing it in now, aren't you? Doop, doop, doop,
I am.
doop,
Doop, doop, doop, doop,
doop, doop, doop,
Emery, why don't you tell them about our Patreon?
Hi, guys. We have a Patreon. Over at patreon.com/universebox, you can help support all of our podcasts. Greetings from Storybrooke.
That's this one.
That's this one. Legends of Gotham. Where
That's
we talk
a different
about,
one.
That's a different one where we talk about Gotham. Batman. We also have a whole bunch of Universe Box specials. We're going to be starting eventually a Disney podcast, a Gilmore Girls podcast.
We're going to be back into We're So Lost next week.
We're So Lost starting next week again for the next 3 months.
Yeah, that'll be our main podcast for the next 3 months.
months.
Out weekly, we have, I think, 3 more to record before I'm going to start releasing it on a feed.
Yeah, on a proper feed.
So by the end of the year.
Yep. So, this is just a way for you guys to help support us, upgrading our awesome things like my camera, which you can't see right now. Oh, no, you can. This used to be the crappy camera that we threw off the wall last week.
They completely
that crashed
the computer twice last week.
So we were like, off the wall. I'd like to get rid of this thing, but we use our Patreon money for stuff like that. So you can start making donations at like 10 cents, $10, $5. We have all sorts of rewards. We'll sing you a song. We owe somebody a song.
We'll sing you a story.
We'll sing you a story.
We
sing you a rhyme.
We also do a monthly patron hangout, which
we owe.
We missed for November, but we're going to reschedule like a double length one sometime this month. Maybe once I'm on my vacation from work. Like,
oh, yeah. We'll record.
Do like a big 3-hour one or something.
Oh, can there be rum?
Maybe.
There has to be rum. But if you can't commit to making a monthly donation on YouTube, there's also a support this channel button that you can click and make a one-time donation. You'll get all the same benefits.
But we definitely want to thank our 35 patrons who are currently giving us $205.99 a month. I especially love the 99. You guys are awesome. We love you. We've named our favorite pairs of shoes after all of you. It's a really long name though because there's 35 of you.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And if you want to
become one of our shoes,
be part of our shoes,
part of our shoes,
and also join us on a boat to the underworld.
Meow.
Patreon.com/universebox. Again, that's patreon.com. It's spelled weird. patreon.com/universebox. And we love you guys so much, and we thank you guys so much. And you guys are awesome, etc., etc., etc. Anything fun from the chat room, Anne-Marie?
Amy P says, you guys are lucky I have another song stuck in my head.
Sing me a story, sing me a rhyme, sing me about
sure.
When I went back to Rumple.
Yeah, when I went back to Rumple. Again and again. Okay.
Okay, another little quibble. Lots of quibbles with this episode, definitely. Another little quibble I had. Why did the Dark Ones choose who they chose? Did Hook direct them in that direction? If so, why didn't he send them after like Selena?
Because they were tight. They had an arrangement.
Oh, I guess
they wouldn't get in each other's way, which is why she was counting on everybody else dying and her basically running the town and painting the mayor's office different shades of baby named Green.
But my big issue really is why did they choose the dwarves? Why did they go after the dwarves? And then the dwarves all just didn't show up for the last 2 scenes.
Why were they not summoned?
Why weren't they summoned? Why didn't they go on the trip to the new place, to the underworld?
Let's just pretend this is one of my Harry Potter ones. When you go like this, it burns for everyone. You should appear instantly, otherwise you die. So we all know this. Y'all are Potterheads too. So this means you show up. Where were they? Where were they?
Also, those dark marks that they had on their wrist, didn't that remind you of like when you get like the allergy test?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the bumpy.
Yeah, the bump. Well, there was 2 different ones. There
was
was
there?
like a circly one, and then there was the one that was like a spider. Or am I crazy? Somebody let me know if I'm crazy, because I believe it.
You're definitely crazy. Also, let her know if she's wrong, because that's more important at this juncture.
Maybe dark one lit.
Yeah,
Yes,
dark,
not so
not so
charming.
charming says maybe the dark one lift only fits 6 people at a time. I can see
Group
that.
A and group dwarves. Nice.
Yeah, there's another lift coming for the dwarves.
No, save
eventually.
the dark one. I guess because never mind. Continue. I'm an
Okay.
idiot.
That's fine. Yeah, but I just had some issues with why the Dark Ones chose who they did. And also, I didn't really bring this up in this point, but I'm going to say it
Do
anyway.
it anyway. Do it anyway.
I felt very underwhelmed by the Dark Ones coming into Storybrooke. Like, I expected, okay, they've been saving up the special effects budget for this big scene. And I had the same...
No, Camelot took it.
If you guys listen to our Gotham podcast, there were also hooded figures descending upon Gotham, and I also had the same complaint.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, that it was very underwhelming because in Gotham it was basically the same thing. Like they just showed up for a scene. Although there was a really cool old dude who had like a basketball jumping on Gotham at least.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. But these Dark Ones, like you never saw their faces. They never did anything. They never used magic at all, really, except to walk through people. It was like they could have been anybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, we didn't see...
They must have been.
We didn't see previous Dark Ones that we know about, like Zoso.
To the best of our knowledge, we may have seen him.
But he wasn't named.
But he wasn't named. And we didn't see that weird pig thing.
The dog one.
Yeah.
Or
the dog. Was it a dog?
A dog or a pig or a hound of some sort.
Something. It barked flames.
Yeah, but definitely very, very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so you want to talk a little bit about Regina?
Sure. So Regina's been holding onto the apprentice's wand all this time?
I guess so.
Like, I mean, I don't know what I really thought happened to it, but she just like is like, ha ha, look what I've got. I can make it work now because I believe I'm special. Like, and is it only able to transport people between worlds? Because really, that's all we've seen it do.
Very true. Very true.
This is a very specialty wand, and it can only transport you through a door, through a tornado, something where you can cross worlds, because beans are not the only way.
Just real quick to the chat room, I will say, please, we try not to curse on this show.
Oh, yes, yes.
So just, keep that in mind.
Yes, no cursing, please.
Yeah, no cursing. And even,
insinuated cursing.
Dancing around cursing can be a little icky sometimes.
Yes.
But yeah, Regina, it was weird.
It was really weird. And how much of a waste was it to just send Zelena back to Oz? After, like... I'm sure she'll be back because traveling between worlds is so much easier than it seemed to be in seasons 1 and 2. There are big things had to happen. There had to be like a bean or like a dark curse or what have you. Now it's like X object is magical and will transport you between here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, it felt like they were and that was another thing. And this is a point I'll bring up later too. But it was another thing where it felt like they were building towards something with the character, and then they completely recanted.
And they're like,
no. I have my theory.
I saw your theory on that. I like it.
Get to it later. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just realized it's my point later, so I'll wait.
We do that a lot. But wait, see, and Emma totally could have just shoved all the darkness into Zelena and killed her and been done with it a few episodes ago. Like everybody was so opposed to it, but literally we just did that to Hook. We just shoved all the darkness into Hook. Granted, he willingly took it, but...
Yeah, that was the thing, because Zelena, I don't think, would have been a willing participant.
No, she wouldn't have been a willing participant.
Unless there was, like, a greasy bag of French fries attached or something.
Onion rings.
Oh, no, but actually, she wasn't even pregnant anymore, so...
Nah, it wouldn't have worked. She wouldn't have taken anything either. But, like, they just threw her out a window. Literally threw her out a clock tower window that's been rebuilt 16 times. Smeh.
I will say I really did enjoy the scene in Regina's office where like she's picking out new colors for the walls and stuff like that, and the camera pans and walks along with
Regina?
Yeah, Regina and Hood, And as it's
Hood.
panning by, Regina usually has a basket of red apples. They're all green apples.
I didn't even
Yeah,
notice
it's
that.
it's right in the foreground of the shot. I thought that was a really nice touch.
That's nice. That's very nice.
That was good direction.
Good.
Good direction, for sure.
Yeah. This is your turn.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Another weird thing with this episode. Lots of weird things with this episode. Things that confused me. Okay. The heroes all just give up.
Yep.
Snow, Charming. These people we've seen for decades, facing adversity and going the extra mile to win the day.
Yep.
They're about to launch a counterattack, try and find a way to save themselves, save the town, save the world potentially from 30-some odd dark ones. And they're like, no, you know what? Let's just go have a burger.
Right. Let's go to Granny's.
No, we've lost. It's fine.
Meh.
It's fine. It just, if it was this easy for them to give up, then why have they been fighting for so long? Why did they even bother fighting Regina in the first place?
Right.
Like, why would these people do anything? They would just roll over and throw their bellies out and let whatever evil was coming at them slice them open, And it just felt very out of character for them to do that. And it felt so out of character. I was like, come on, there has to be some sort of slight explanation about maybe why this is happening. Like, something that would make me feel just a little bit better at this. I came up with one theory.
Okay.
What if when the Dark Ones passed through everybody, they instantly went to hell? Instantly went to the underworld. What if this everything that happens after that in the episode is already taking place in the underworld? Maybe that's why they give up so easy, because one of the qualities of being in hell, certain types of hell in certain different fictional stories and religious texts and stuff like that, is just this feeling of despair, this listlessness, this helplessness. Feeling this helplessness, especially for otherwise powerful characters. That seems like it would be a type of hell. And then the whole thing with Rumple embracing the darkness, going to be the Dark One again, when up until this moment he had seemed so happy about not being dark anymore, not having a dark heart.
Right.
That seems like it would kind of be hell for Rumple to have the dark power again. And based on the preview, which we'll talk about in a little bit, it definitely feels like they could possibly already be in hell / the underworld. And I really, again, this is an out there theory, a crazy theory. I'm hoping it's right because it would redeem a lot of what I disliked about this episode for me.
Yeah.
What do you think about my theory, Anne-Marie?
I kind of like it, and it makes sense. It kind of completely makes sense.
Yeah, it's like go ahead.
I was going to say, however, Mary H. points out in the chat room, well, Snell wanted to stay in Storybrooke and retire, basically, after all the Pan stuff. So she really, kind of quit a while ago.
But I mean, many times since the Pan stuff happened, we've seen her rally and even lead the charge to save the day.
But still not to the way she used to be.
You think? Because, I mean, I don't know. Going to Camelot to save Emma, that was pretty Snow led, and that was pretty her leading the charge and rushing, across dimensions to save her daughter.
I don't know.
And this was more than just her daughter at stake. This was her entire family.
Yeah.
At stake.
Yeah.
So it just felt really weird, and again, it would completely excuse a lot of what happened in this episode if that was the explanation. In fact, it would make it fantastic. It would be the best plot twist ever.
Yeah.
And I've just spoiled it for you if it happens. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And also, assuming that this is on the up and up, and that's exactly what they were doing. They were just giving up.
Yeah.
Would it have hurt to keep researching a solution? I don't know. Maybe take 1 or 2 books to Granny's to flip through while you're eating your burger? I don't know.
Exactly.
Just felt a little off to me. Just a little bit off.
Okay, so Killian's dad.
Mr. Killian.
Okay. It seems a bit odd that a ship worker could bring his 2 kids on board with him like it was nothing. Like, shouldn't there have already been some sort of a fee then? But then, he trades them and suddenly they're, I don't know, they were traded for a boat.
Yeah.
Apparently 2 kids equals 1 boat.
Yeah, I kind of thought they were going to do a thing where it was a fake out and he had some other reason he had to leave.
Yes.
Or like the guy who told him that seemed kind of untrustworthy.
Right.
So I thought they might do a switch around there, but obviously they didn't.
No. Okay. And then he's put under on a sleeping curse. Do sleeping curses help you cheat death? I mean, I guess they would because like Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora,
remember way back when, that lady.
Aurora didn't age.
No. But nobody else did.
Period.
Nobody else did either. Because Philip was not really aged in Mulan and all that.
That's true.
If we want to go back to that.
Well, I felt just the fact that they structured the entire storyline to be that he happened to survive for 100 years too felt kind of cheap and chintzy and coincidental.
Yep.
And not a good kind of coincidental. The bad kind of coincidental. And there was absolutely no reason they couldn't have set this confrontation between Hook and his dad, 100 years in the past before he ever went to Neverland.
Right.
They could have even brought Mila back for that.
Coming soon.
All those years that he spent traveling around with Mila, they could have ran into his daddy. Mm-hmm. It also felt very coincidental that Regina knew that was Hook's dad when 100 years had passed, and obviously the record keeping in Misthaven isn't that good. We know. Yeah. Because of many episodes set at the record keeping place in Misthaven. No, I'm kidding. Wow. But no, a lot of it seemed very coincidental.
Right. It also, when everybody else was under their sleeping curses, they didn't really know what was going on around them, correct?
Correct.
How, in the name of everything that is everything, did he fall in love with his nurse and his nurse fell in love with him while he was under this curse?
Well, I kind of got the impression that his nurse fell in love with him while he was under the sleeping curse, kissed him. There was true love, funnily in the one way. And then when he woke up.
No, he said he heard her.
He said he
heard her and fell in love with her.
Okay, well, that's just completely going against anything they've ever done.
Thank you. Also, she didn't have like the anti-aging thingamagoobs. Mm-hmm. Like
what, the nurse?
Right.
Oh, well, I think the implication was that he was put under this sleeping curse, stayed under this sleeping curse for how many ever 100 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she ended up being the one taking care of him within a few years. Because, I mean, the boy was what? Like maybe
12,
7, 8, 10, 12?
We'll go with 10.
But within a decade.
Yeah.
So within a decade of this confrontation is when he woke up.
Yeah. So, but that's still, that's still weird. Mm-hmm. That, he's been under the sleeping curse for 75 years before this woman, I don't know, the falling in love while under the curse was weird. We were cursed! Mm-hmm. Let's see, then...
thank you. Somebody gave us $25.
What?
On the fan funding, so thank you very much.
Whoever you are, I love you. I love you. While you were sleeping. No, that is not while you were sleeping. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Also, his dad lied to Liam number 2. Also.
Hey, how do you figure?
Because Killian, Hook, whatever we want to call him right now.
Stephanie says she thought it was going to be Nurse Ratched. That would have been funny.
That would have been hilarious,
because we still don't know who she was back in Misthaven.
Yes, that's true. We don't.
But no, she would have been dead already because of the whole... Yeah, but go ahead.
Okay. No, because he said that they had to leave right away to avoid suspicion by Regina. And here's Hook's daddy tucking in Liam number 2 and telling him they're leaving in the morning. It felt very shady, like he was tucking him in, going out, getting the papers from Killian, and taking off with like some other bimbo.
Well, in that case, why would he ask for 2 papers?
Did you miss the taking off with some other bimbo part?
Yeah, but I mean, it by the same token, I think kind of the point of his death and even what he was saying in the death, falling down in death and everything, it was that, no, I changed. You can change. It just takes, sleeping curse.
And I didn't buy it.
You didn't buy it?
I didn't really buy it.
That's interesting. Like because I didn't think there was much ambiguity there, but I mean that's very interesting.
I didn't really buy it. I also find it a little ridiculous that he named his third son Liam as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how many other names are there in the world?
I kind of thought that maybe Hook had that complete change of heart about the whole thing because he didn't name his new son Killian.
I thought about that too. Yeah.
He's like, he liked Liam more than you like me. I'm
Exactly.
gonna kill him.
Exactly.
He doesn't deserve to live. I would like to talk a little bit about Killian's half brother though.
Do it up.
Because obviously he's right there in bed, probably still half awake.
Yeah, I mean.
And Killian comes in and kills him. He kills his dad.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if we're gonna see this new Liam reemerge somewhere along the way, and maybe Hook will become his crocodile. Maybe he'll be seeking revenge for Hook. You have your hand up?
I have my hand up because through something I read, we are confirmed that we will be seeing Liam number 1, but not necessarily Liam number 2 yet.
Interesting. So we'll get more Hook backstory somewhere along the way, or either that or
they're
help.
going to the underworld.
Yeah, I guess so.
Everyone who's ever existed is free game.
Mm-hmm. But it will be very interesting to see. I'm kind of curious, if maybe Hook will become his half brother's crocodile. The one he seeks out for revenge. Kind of reminds me almost like of a Kill Bill scenario, where and you haven't seen Kill Bill, so you'll miss all of this. But the daughter of Black Mamba sees the bride kill Black Mamba. Spoilers. And Tarantino's
It's been out for 20 years almost?
Yeah, Tarantino's always said that if he does a sequel to Kill Bill, it'll be Black Mamba's daughter coming after the bride. Is kind of a revenge story. So I think it would be cool to see Killian's Hook's younger half brother come after him for killing the daddy.
That's fair.
And alternatively, if he didn't hear anything going on outside of that door, do you think he'll think that his father abandoned him just like Killian did, just like Hook did? I think that's a possibility too, growing up thinking that his dad abandoned him just like Hook did.
Yep.
I think that'd be a fun way to go with it too. Either way, I think they were kind of cheap with the way they brought Hook's dad into it. And I think just a slight rewrite, get Regina out of there, set it 100 years in the past, it would have fixed everything. I really hope we get to see Hook's younger half brother again.
I want to.
Hook Bros.
I really, and I think they pulled there was multiple people mentioning this in the chat. I thought it was going to be like Robin Hood. Mm-hmm. I really did, but I don't know.
I don't think the timing would work out with that, though.
Does that matter?
It does a little bit.
The fact that you actually just were concerned about a timeline.
The fact that you bring up timelines almost every episode says that it does matter.
Whatever. Okay, fine. Let's move right along to this.
Oh, wait.
No?
Hookadial,
Hookadial?
Todd Whitehead says.
Hookadial?
Thank you, Todd Whitehead.
I like that.
Hi, Todd Whitehead of Alpha Geek Radio, which we're on the main channel now.
Holla.
By the way, so we've hit the big time, Alpha Geek Radio.
We are the big time. So, how are the fairies supposed to protect Roland and Baby No Name when they haven't done almost anything in 5 seasons? Mm-hmm. And how are they going to know that Baby Neil is all by himself in Granny's? Are they going to use a locator spell? Or are they just going to go in for some lasagna?
Yeah. Did Snow even get the opportunity to put Baby Neil down? So Baby Neil's dead probably.
No,
Baby Neil's
she
only
wasn't
a couple
holding
months
him.
old. Oh, she wasn't holding him?
He was in like the carrier or something because I thought about that on the second watch through, and the only acknowledgement that there was a baby there at that moment was Henry looks at the baby as they're all backing away, and then they're all gone.
Well, that's good. At least the baby didn't hit its head on the ground.
To the best of our knowledge.
To the best of our knowledge.
To the best of our knowledge.
That'll be a really weird plot twist if that happened. Though.
Yes.
But I had my problems with that too. That was just another throwaway line because there was obviously something very wrong going on behind the scenes in this episode. I have my theories, but Anne-Marie, anything from the chat room before we?
Oh gosh, keep scrolling. Let's see. Okay, they put a GPS tag on Neil. Granny was in the back. The GPS beeps whenever the family poofs away and the fairies show up for him. I think that's it. Somebody's telling me check Twitter, so I'm trying to figure out what
That's
that is
about
for.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so what happened in this episode? What exactly happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
It felt like there were a few things that made this episode weak. Yeah, I'm going to say it's not as weak as the episode, the Canadian bootleg, but I mean, that was an unofficial episode anyway.
Yeah.
But I did feel it was pretty weak. So one of the big things that made this very weak for me was there were a lot of, it felt like last minute character reversals. Like Selena, she was okay last week with the shared custody until she wasn't this week all of a sudden. And then they scurried her off to Oz so they didn't have to deal with explaining why she didn't take the baby back from the fairies or whatever. And, then, as I mentioned in length at the top of the show,
Right.
Rumpel going evil and Belle taking him back at the last second against all setup they've done the entire season. Emma never really being the dark one. And the title promises of Swan Song that never really happened.
Not really, no.
That implies that, Swan goes out somehow. And no,
The swan did not go anywhere.
the Swan did not go anywhere. She got her red jacket back. She's fine. She's cool. And
She washed her hair a little.
last but not least, Regina, as you mentioned, Anne-Marie, suddenly being able to use the wand with a throwaway line referencing her possibility, her
savior thing.
possibly being the savior and getting the town to rally behind her back in episode 2, and it's never been addressed since.
Nope.
But all of a sudden it comes into play here with the wand and everything. Okay, so what happened?
What actually?
What happened? I have my opinions.
Okay.
I think two things happened here. I think two things conspired. One, I think there must have been some notes from ABC on this one. I feel like Regina, I feel like the status quo at the end of the season was going to be Regina was the new savior. Emma was supposed to go much darker, killing people, whatnot, and then make the ultimate sacrifice that Hook makes in this episode. And Gold was supposed to lead the rescue party into the underworld to get Emma back, to pay her back for saving everybody. And, Gold obviously was going to be the hero,
Right.
that he's been gunning for the entire season. So all these things were set up, were built upon the entire season. We've been walking down this road to Pleasantville the entire season, and we veered off into Wellsville to, complete the 90s movie references with
Yes.
Phil in the title.
With-
With Phil in the title. But, it had to be studio interference of some kind, right?
Yeah, it really felt like it.
I feel like, because there was a late announcement after they'd already done probably 8 or 9 episodes that Merida was going to be introduced into the storyline, and that also Merida, Ruby, Mulan were all going to be in one episode that we never saw.
No.
I guess they showed it in Canada.
Canadian
something
stinking
like
rotten bootleg.
Yeah, so I think part of the reason so many throwaway lines were included to wrap up storylines and patches applied in the episode to wrap things up was that they cut the story that they had planned for the season in episodes short to include that Merida, Ruby, Mulan Canadian bootleg.
Right. Other Anne-Marie also reminds us that I believe it was the Comic-Con promo had Emma locked up in a dungeon, and we never saw any of that.
Yeah, there was no mention of that, and that obviously would have fit very well in Camelot right after she turned Hook.
Yep.
That would have worked perfectly there.
She was locked in Rumpel's cell.
Yeah, and it never happened. So
Yes.
I feel like one, there were studio notes about the direction they were taking the characters.
Right.
They didn't want to see Emma become the dark one.
And that's
they
where
didn't
they
want
went
to see
wrong.
Rumpel become the great hero. They didn't want to see Regina become the savior.
You just gotta say it all in triple.
Triple.
Good.
And they also wanted to give Merida her own episode, more or less.
I mean, she really had a couple. I mean,
She had a couple, but she had one that was
Well, she
completely
had-
her.
yes,
Like the
the
heroes didn't
bootleg.
appear at all.
nope.
But yeah, so if anything happened that wasn't just sucky writing, I think
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I'm usually right on my theories, though.
You are usually, and that's the scary part.
Yeah. I hope I'm right on the one I said earlier in the episode, too, because that'll
Which one was that?
alleviate all of this. And then I'll be like, oh, they're geniuses. Never mind.
Geniuses. Okay. So, but so what happened though to Merida and all of the Camelot people? Are they just hanging out in Storybrooke, which is not their like place? And who is running Storybrooke? Because now, and this is me under my assumption that Gold, the Charmings, Emma, Regina, they're all in hell. They are all in hell.
Yeah.
So no one is running Storybrooke. That's why I'm saying it's going to be just like those 6 weeks where they all thought it was so nice and peaceful. But that's weird because I don't know if Merida will just like chill. And wouldn't Guinevere break Arthur out of his cell since nobody's remembered he's there?
My theory?
Oh, please, please, please.
They never get referenced again. Merida.
No. Oh no, it's gonna
Camelot never get referenced again.
No,
ever.
all gone.
Yeah,
all gone. Well, I think from the way it sounded, that they all had scenes filmed and weren't told they were cut because Amy Manson was doing some crazy retweeting last night. And it was not positive.
Actually, I want to go see this. I want to go see this Amy Manson tweet. I also think that
at Amy Manson London.
I also think there's a very strong possibility they're finally going to get back around to bringing Maleficent back, though.
Well, that was the thing. Her and what's her face? Yes, he's still a tree. I don't even know what I was saying now. What was I saying, Camelot?
Let's see. Here's some tweets from Amy Manson.
They're all retweets. Yeah.
Let's see here. She might have unretweeted them.
No, she didn't. I saw them earlier. Oh, did she?
Yeah, they're all unretweeted now, so.
Oh, so she got in trouble.
She got in trouble.
Well, Twitter will do that to you.
You know, if she was brave, she wouldn't have unretweeted those.
She would have if they told her they weren't going to pay her.
You have to be brave, even in the face of losing money.
Yeah, it was a lot of tweets because they're saying, I want to see them, I want to see them. I saw a significant amount going, you're better than this, your Brave arc was good, don't go back to them.
Don't look back in anger.
So there was a lot of that type of thing, but yeah.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens in Storybrooke.
Real Storybrooke.
Which we will get to the thing later.
Yeah.
So, but okay. It's time for an arbitrary scale, Anne-Marie.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? Can you handle this?
Can you handle it?
Anne-Marie, can you handle this? I don't think you can handle this. I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
I can't.
Okay, out of 162 run bells. Run bells. That's R-U-N-G bells.
Ding, 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 ding,
not rum bells.
That's because there's no run bells.
Run bells. Out of 162 run bells, how many run bells do you give this episode?
97.
97.
97.
97. Why?
Too much freaking crap.
Bobby says hashtag Mayor Grumpy.
Hashtag Mayor Grumpy, yes.
But elaborate.
I'm getting there.
Stop, elaborate, and listen.
Stop, elaborate, and listen. We're just going to sing tonight, I guess. No, okay, like I said earlier.
Swan Song.
I really, really liked the episode while I was watching it. There was one point, I don't remember what it was, where I stood up and yelled at the TV and gave it a come at me, bro. But, upon further evaluation and my rewatch and trying to put in notes, I was like, all I have is negatives. Why do I only have negatives? Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't what I was,
Wanting?
No. I wanted more Dark Hook. It was too easy.
Yeah.
It was too easy.
Okay, over in the chat, Sage of Earth gives it 0 run bells, but she did assure us on Twitter that she will keep watching the show just so she can listen to this podcast. Thank you, Sage.
We appreciate that.
Patty.
Thank you.
Okay, other Anne-Marie gives it 161 run bells. It entertained me, which is what a TV show should be like for me.
Exactly.
Amy P says 159. I liked it, but it did not feel like a finale. Very true.
Very true. It did not.
Very
It felt
true.
it could have been like a middle episode.
I was telling Anne-Marie earlier, finales, the once finales, if nothing else, like they always end giving me a million questions, leaving me wanting to see a whole lot more.
Right.
I did not feel that this episode, but the trailer gave that to me. Okay, Bobby says 89 run bells. Stephanie is 140 run bells. Not So Charming is 85 run bells. Hope says I would say 140 at first and then 81 when I thought about it. Angel T says 138 run bells. It was okay. Mary H says 150 run bells. Man, a lot of people in chat tonight.
Yeah.
Took some points off for the Rumpel story. Would have been 160 without that.
Yep.
And let's see, anybody else here? And yeah. Okay, so I guess that leaves me, right? Because everyone else is waiting. Okay. 162 run bells, not rum bells. Run bells. Okay, I'm gonna give it like 90 run bells. Because like a lot of other people were saying in the chat room, until the last 10 minutes, I would have given it like 140 run bells. But after what they did to Rumpelstiltskin.
My rumps. My lovely golden rumps.
After what they did no, never mind. I said that last week. I shouldn't say that again.
Oh.
But yeah, it just... that completely left a bad taste in my mouth. And then when I went back and rewatched the episode and I saw more of the same, and I think I even in our live tweet said so many lines just, setting things up for 5B, just getting plot pieces off the chessboard sort of thing. It did leave a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not saying I'm quitting the show. I'm not saying, everyone last night on Twitter was very dramatic. Like, I'm quitting the show very publicly. And
there was one specific ship that was doing it a lot.
Then you'll forget about it, and then I'll be back next season. But I want to declare it very publicly right now that I'm quitting the show like I did last season. I'm not doing that at all. But yeah, they could do better. Not So Charming. Did this episode rumple your feathers? Yes. Very, very much so.
Yeah.
But you can do better once. I hope you do better next season. That's all I'm going to say.
They can do better.
Now, on to the news.
News.
First up, the ratings. A presidential address at 8 p.m. EST, 7 CST. I don't even know if that's right. It means that ratings for one Sunday are more likely than usual to change. But as things stand now, it appears that ABC's fall finale of Once Upon a Time ticked up slightly from a series low last week. Which
well, that's because last week was amazing.
Mm-hmm. What are the exact numbers here? But then
again, I didn't put it. It was 1.4.
The fact that they were on right after the President of the United States made his third ever primetime address from the Oval Office sort of thing. Yeah, it'll probably get adjusted down a bit, I'm sure.
You think it'll get adjusted down?
Yeah, I think it'll get adjusted down. But it was a 1.4 because I'm sure that's a pretty good lead-in.
Well, there was also they had issues though because there was it wasn't bumped on the West Coast, so we had that going. They had football run over on in some markets, so it would have granted it's on another channel, but it would have people that would have switched over. And then those darn Canadians who started right on time.
They have their bootlegs and whatnot.
Bootlegs and the such.
Yeah, but I'm sure we'll see an adjustment for that. But you know what? You'll never hear about it because we're not going to report on it because we're taking a couple weeks off after this episode. Okay, but there is a season 5B coming this March, as this says, and we're going to watch the trailer for it right now. So let me pull up the trailer, adjust it there on the screen.
Making it happen.
Oh. And then I made it all weird. Okay,
no, don't make it.
There we go. This March.
You made it weird.
The quest to find Hook begins.
They're looking for Hook. Looking for the hookup.
Wait, let's just keep an eye out for. Is gold there? Do you see gold?
There's a big crash Storybrooke clock tower in the center of town. There was a Corolla DeVille car. A bunch of return characters who we've reported on in the news section before now.
All right, let's do this.
Tombstone that says Killian Jones. Which who's that? Who could that be? Is that Merida? Is that Merida's actual name? Killian Jones? I don't know. But we're gonna find out in season 5B. Souls of the Departed.
Right.
Is season 5, episode 12, and we'll be getting that come March.
Yeah. And Hope says TV Line has once safe to be renewed. Yeah, I've been seeing that most of the season, which seems really weird. It just feels like a lot of them have given up, though.
Yeah.
And I feel like I saw somewhere that somebody was only signed on for 5 seasons, and I feel like that was creators. So, they hit the 100th episode. That's what a show strives for anymore.
I could totally see Disney giving this over to somebody else and moving
to some
forward.
lower writers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely feel like I feel like
It's done.
it's getting a little long in the tooth now, especially after this half season. Like way more so than I did with the Frozen arc, because the Frozen arc ended in such a way that I was like, "Oh, great, they're finally getting to the real story here." This time I don't really feel that.
No.
At all.
No, this feels like this feels like a wrap-up season.
I'm not wishing for its death. It's like that old Winston Churchill quote. I don't wish for Once Upon a Time to die, but if it did, I wouldn't be that broken up about it. To paraphrase Winston Churchill horribly and not
really,
nearly as brilliantly. Okay, but now we're going to get to the listener feedback, which, reminder, next week, 8:30 p.m. EST, Monday night, we're having a Once Podcasters Roundtable with a whole slew of them. I'm not even going to name all of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I'm going to
say. In fact, I think we have some in the chat room.
I'm going to say Once Upon a Podcast just because they emailed us right before the show. I remember that.
Podcast.
Once Podcast. Once Upon a Time Fan Podcast. Once or Cast to the Extreme. Once. All these podcasts are going to be joining us next Monday night, 8:30 p.m. EST, to discuss Season 5A in its entirety. We'd love to hear your thoughts, too. What you can do is you can run over to the computer, email us, greetingsfromstorybrooke@gmail.com, tweet us at GSStorybrooke. The Facebook is facebook.com/greetingsfromstorybrooke. Take a boat to hell, 424-274-2352. Give us a call, 424-274-2352, as Bobby did. Take it away, Bobby.
Hey, Bill and Anne-Marie, it's Bobby.
You went to hell?
Bobby's here with his mini Once podcast.
I know. His 4-minute
let me start
podcast.
with something I actually liked about the episode. I liked Hook's relationship and backstory with his father. It was a bit convenient how he and Regina swore they would never speak of what happened again. But I did like how that brought another level to his hatred for Rumple. It's not necessarily just about Mia, it's also about his daddy issues, his abandonment issues. I really didn't think he was going to go through with killing his dad, so I was sorry to see that. Especially after he saw that his dad had a son as well. I really didn't think that he would put, regardless of his hate for his dad, I didn't think he would put that kid through that. And so, do you think he would have if he had heard that his kid named that kid, or his dad named that kid Killian rather than Liam? Or do you think maybe there was like a tinge of jealousy there? Or maybe
I think there was totally a tinge of jealousy.
Totes jealous.
that was just me. Just a thought. That being said, I'm sure that's not the last we've seen of that Liam kid. Like I said, he probably woke up the next day, saw his dad dead in the lawn, and now he's thirsty for revenge himself, going after a pirate named Hook. Although, if that's the case, how come we've never seen or heard from him since then? It's, again, so many things about this episode that, lead to nowhere. Nothing about this episode felt like it was earned. There was nothing played out in this season that led to what happened in this episode, or at least in my opinion. The dwarves are in the first episode, and then just now finally in this last episode. Too little, too late. And I know that's not... that's not a short joke. That means, they were actually only in the episode for a few minutes. Okay... The Dark One's coming to town. That was, so hyped up about, this is going to be so menacing, so much havoc. And then they just phased through. They basically, literally, came to town and walked through it. And walked through people. And that was it.
The Dark Ones do cardio.
Felt like that was so anticlimactic. Everything just totally ended with a sputter. And then... Okay, the Dark One thing, as far as Emma killing Hook like that did, for starters, that felt like it totally came from Buffy. You know, that totally was season 2 Buffy. Second, I don't understand. None of that made sense to me. Okay, so if Hook was absorbing the powers into the sword, and he even stated there in the sword, you know, why is stabbing him with a sword gonna do away with all the darkness? None of that made any sense to me. Speaking of not making any sense, let's just, like, my biggest flaw of the episode was Rumple. I was one of the people at the beginning saying that Rumple shouldn't be redeemed, and then I felt like they earned his redemption, and even in this episode alone, he did make a selfless act. But of course, that was before the opportunity came to him to, you know, make Excalibur a siphon to give him powers, and then, like, none of that made any sense. It was just like he said what it did, and it just felt like I said, nothing in this episode was earned.
It was cheap.
And then at the end of the episode, when they're all going to Hades, hell, whatever you want to call it,
The underworld.
Okay, it made no sense to me that Rumple was with them. Why did everyone just go along with Rumple being with them after Emma just told them what Rumple had done to Belle, and no one's going to tell Belle? None of that made any sense to me whatsoever. I know this is a really long voicemail, and I'm sorry, but
The Bobcast.
I don't know where to begin or end, so I'm just going to end right now. And my arbitrary scale is just going to be an easy one of useless Dark Ones. Useless Dark Ones walking through town. How many were there? Let's say there were 33. 33 useless Dark Ones walking through town. Out of 33 useless Dark Ones walking through town, I will give it 15. I'm not going to say, like, single digits, but I mean, this just was, like, really disappointing. And I will now return you to greetings from Storybrooke, already in progress.
Greetings from Storybrooke. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm the Dark One.
Just in case you forgot. Thank you very much, though, Bobby, for that.
Bobby.
Very well thought out and very, very touching.
Extensive.
Touching Bobcast.
Where did it touch you?
Right here. In my heart.
Aww.
In my heart.
Precious.
And then I run a bell. Next up is Dawn Awar. Take it away, Dawn.
Hi, Bill and Anne-Marie. This is Dawn Awar. I just got finished watching Once Upon a Time, and I think I made it in time for the show. I thought, wow, that was not my favorite episode. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm not going to, like, hate on it because you guys hate that, right? But, like, I was disappointed, like, the whole episode.
We hate. We like
Haterade.
Sometimes. I'd say if we feel we can be intellectually critical about something and not just haterade, then we like doing it. Mm-hmm. If we think we can be fair in our criticism, then we like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself, like, doing this thing where, like, I was like, why? Why are the writers making me watch this story? Like, why?
Were they holding you there?
They could have told in this spot. Why? And I still don't know why. Why? That's all I want to know is why. I think that Belle is a drama queen, isn't she? I don't like her at all anymore because she's just a drama queen. Mm-hmm. But seriously, don't you think? Like, if Rumpelstiltskin was my friend, and he was like, "Oh, this is my girlfriend. This is the kind of thing she does to me," I'd be like, "Who's that woman? She's a drama queen, right? Right?
Yeah.
I know you agree with me.
I don't like you. Oh wait, I like you because you're bad now. Oh, you're good again. I don't like you again.
The good and the bad and the good and the bad and the good and the bad and the what?
Whole thing, right? Like, of course you do. You always do, right? What else is there? I don't even know. I didn't want to talk about it. It's just the whole episode going, why? Just why? Oh.
Thank you. Well, thank you for you gave a good talk about it for not wanting to talk about it, Dawn. Thank you. And yes, you finally got it in on time.
She's been doing a lot better.
She has.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. I love having you around.
Yes, we do. Dawn came to us as a guest on Once Upon a Time, or Greetings from Wonderland.
Oh, greetings.
Or Once Upon a Time in
Once
Wonderland,
Upon a Wonderland
podcast. And she's been with us the whole way.
since.
We love her. If we do a listener round table, we want her on for sure. I don't know if we'll do one. I'm sure we'll probably do one before the show comes back. Probably. Not this year though. Hoops.
Oh my God, the feel. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Hey, Bill and Emery, this is Anthony calling in, Hoops 900. Hopefully you guys are doing well, but
We
let
are.
me back. Oh my God, the feels. Oh my God, the feels. So everything was basically up to my standards for it being a mid-season finale, winter finale, and everything was very exciting, very emotional. As I stated on Twitter, on the inside, I was crying on the inside when Emma had to do what she had to do with killing Rumple to seize the darkness, things of that nature. It was so exciting, and I am dying for March 6th. So I really can't wait for the spring opening for the new season arc. It's so exciting, and I really can't wait. My only question is like on Rumpelstiltskin becoming the Dark One once again. I mean, what do you guys think about what's really going on? I mean, like, is he the Dark One now and forever, or is Belle going to find out what's going to happen?
Always and
Just any of your thoughts would be
forever.
great, and I can't wait to hear the episode. I'm actually going to be there this time for the chat.
You
No,
weren't
you're
here.
not!
You're not here, Hoops.
Unless you have a
You're
pseudonym.
here
What are
in
you
spirit.
doing over
I'm
there?
checking to see if Hoops is here.
I'm looking at the chat.
He's not here.
He's not here.
He's not here.
Unless he changed his name.
He might have.
Is he not so charming?
But as far as how we feel about it, on one hand, I don't like what they did with Rumple. On the
this
other hand,
on that hand.
I think him having all the powers of all the Dark Ones could be very interesting.
I'm sorry. What's with the accent?
I'm not doing an accent.
I can't wait till you guys talk about it. I'm just very excited. Hashtag all the feels in the world. I give this episode about 18.95 Captain Swan heart sharing hearts, and I can't wait to hear you guys' talk on the episode. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you very much, Hoops. Thank you very, very much. We definitely appreciate it. And as far as like the Captain Swan stuff, yeah, that was. I thought it was really
We kind
good,
of really disregarded a lot
Yeah,
of the.
I thought it was a really good Captain Swan scene. In fact, right after the episode was done, I tweeted out hashtag Team Sadville Meeks.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Bill
I'm
Meeks was sad.
hashtag bring back Neil. Bring back Neil.
Hope.
Hey, Bill and Anne-Marie, I'm going to try and keep this super fast. It's Hope. Hi. So I initially liked Swan Song as I watched it, but then as I stopped to actually think about the episode, it just completely unravels. Like, it hit all the emotional points it needed to, but then it just falls apart when you think about it. So here's some really fast points about the episode. If the dwarves were marked as well, why were they not in the end scene? As the greatest source of good in the Dark One's nemesis, it always baffles me why they never go to Blue Fairy. I liked all the Hook stuff with his dad, but I really wanted to see him more as a kid with his dad. What is the dad's name? If it's not Davy Jones, I'm flipping a table. What is Robin Hood's baby name? So Zelina now joined the ranks of main characters that vanished in the season. So far, Ruby and Belle in season 3 and Will Scarlet. Why make Vex Mater a main cast member if they're just going to throw this out? So Hook's dad was under a sleeping curse? Right. I wanted to see Killian interact with his new baby brother. I really wanted to see that. And also, what happened to Liam 2.0? Connor Donahue can't stay dead on the show because his face is on the merchandise. He's the cash cow. I was going to send feedback defending Belle from last week, but then she got wishy-washy again, and it is really dumb that she's back with Rumple. I know Mr. Raven is pregnant in real life, but it would have been stronger if Belle became friends first and then fell in love naturally. Rumple revealing that he was the Dark One was hands down the best part of the episode. I'm so glad that these guys, with all the crappy back and forth writing, they can still write surprises. You know who was missing from the promo with all the dead people? Neil. And I'm really excited about all the dead people returning. Why is Henry going to hell? Is this Take Your Child to Death Day? Initially, like when I first watched the episode, I would have probably given it a 14 out of 20. But after thinking about it, I'm giving Swan Song a solid 10 out of 20 Liam 2.0s. That is 50%. Bye, guys.
Thank you very much, Hope.
So everybody, like Hope pointed this out about bringing Henry with them to hell. Henry goes everywhere with them. Henry has been through so much.
That's
like
been since
season 1.
Really since he got, especially though, since he got, an entire episode to be the hero
Right.
last season.
Like
I don't really register that's a problem these days, just because he saved the day last year, right?
Exactly, between him and Regina, and I don't know, he does just as much as everybody else. So why shouldn't he get to do it? He's the author, not that really seems to mean anything. But yeah.
Okay, and next up is Other Anne Marie. Take it away, Other Anne Marie.
Hi, Bill and Anne Marie. It's Other Anne Marie speaking.
Hi.
Whoa.
What'd you do?
I dropped my phone on the space bar and it paused it.
And what the what in the world was that? Okay, I'm going to be all over the place.
Okay.
So I did not see it coming that Rumpel was going to retake his power. He's going to be even more powerful than anything. And Emma says that she's still got power, but can she even fight Rumpel when he's got all the power in the world right now? I don't even know. And Belle is outside of all of this. Like, she didn't get the mark. She doesn't know Rumpel is back to full power. So she's basically in the unknown again as usual. Clearly we thought of baby Neil all of a sudden because he's back, although he's gone again because he's not being taken to the underworld, which is probably a smart move. And Zelina is back in Oz. Okay, this was all over the place. It was a great episode. It had me literally yelling at the television. I'm happy to see that they're going to try and fetch Hook. I mean, I'm gonna miss Colin in the show because he's just, I don't know, he's hard to look at. I mean, we want to.
That's
keep
what
him,
it comes
don't we?
down to.
I don't know. It was just an amazing episode. I really liked it, and this 3-month break is gonna suck. Out of 100 twisted Dark One switches and new Rumples, I am going to give it 99 and another swirl of black. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Bye.
99 loof balloons. One dark one trailing. Thank you, Other Anne Marie, though.
Yes.
For sure. Okay, next up we have Patty. Take it away, Patty!
Woo! Besides my message from last night, something just occurred to me right now that hasn't bugging me. I still don't like the episode from last night, and I still think it was utterly stupid to make Rumpel go skin the Dark One. So for now, I'm just going to talk about the Greek mythology, because something has been bugging me. In Greek mythology, the underworld is not known as hell. It is just known as Hades. Hell actually, I think, derives from Hela, which is the Norse underworld goddess. But as for the underworld, it was never referred to as hell at any point, at least until now. In fact, the underworld is made up of different versions of the afterlife. You have the Elysian Field, which is like the heaven portion. You have, I think, the Prosper Field versus where basically every Joe goes. I don't know what they do there. I think they just walk around a bunch of fields doing nothing. And then you have Tartarus, which is where everybody gets tortured, whoever pisses them off or angers them. You know the story about the dude who's actually rolling up the hill with the rock? Yeah, he's there because he cheated death, which is why I'm wondering why he hasn't, which is why I think the whole earlier this season where Robin is going to fight them in the boat at some point, because as far as I know in the mythology, Hades didn't like it when people cheated death. Nobody liked it when they cheated death, and he severely punished people who have deliberately cheated death. So I can't wait to find out what exactly will happen with Robin and Regina in that point, because it's going to be a doozy. And at the same time, Hades was not that evil, and a lot of the people who gets punished in TARDIS was mostly due to Zeus. There might be more homosexuality considering Zeus did have a cabana boy.
Breaking in the chat room. I just wanted to point out they've cracked season 5B. Let's see, other Emery has. You know who's in control of the underworld?
Johanna did it.
Johanna did it.
Johanna did it.
She absolutely did. Sorry, we'll go back to your message now,
Mrs.
Patty.
Who
Padmore.
he brought home. His wife was angry, actually. But then that kind of was one of the more angering reasons why Hera didn't like Troy and Trojan War. More of the story, don't bring home your homosexual lover. But I just wanted to mention that since it's annoying that they keep referring to it as hell. All right, bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Patty. And to round out the voicemails, we still have some letters.
We still have letters. Don't go anywhere.
But it's Tim. Take it away, Tim.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Anne-Marie.
Hi,
Happy holidays to you. Merry
Why aren't you in the chat room anymore, Tim?
Christmas. So this is Tim, and I'm calling once again about Swan Song. So I really enjoyed this episode. What I did not really enjoy was the Parade of Dark Ones. The Parade of Dark Ones did not really do much for me. The Dark Ones did not, have menacing dialogue or creepy voices. But speaking of creepy voices, let's get back to the main Dark One that we know and love. Rumpelstiltskin is back. Yes, indeed. Now, I know a lot of people who would be absolutely crushed and mortified, but I think of this as just a return to status quo, as it were. Thirdly, Hook's backstory, I really, really enjoyed it. I think that it really showed something that the show has, given us over and over again, that everything is a great big cycle. We see it with Cora and Regina, and we see it as strongly or more strongly with Killian and we can now call him Davy Jones, not to mention Liam Jones.
Can we?
Huh?
Did they give a name for him?
For who?
For
Daddy?
Daddy.
No.
Daddy Jones.
No, Daddy.
I really am looking forward to exploring the story of Davy Jones more, and we'll hopefully get an episode maybe called Davy Jones's Locker. Now that would be really truly exciting. I'm also excited for spoiler, the dead characters coming back to life that we will get to see, such as good old Peter Pan and good old Cora. Yes, I'm a fan of all of the villains, and this show gives me lots of villains. So let's see. I didn't think the episode was too strong as a whole. I thought it could have been stronger, so let's just give this 7 reinstated Dark Ones out of 10. I'm still looking forward to the Underworld, and I'm still watching Gotham. I'm hoping to email you some thoughts about that later this evening.
Yes, please.
Excellent.
And I'm really looking forward to looking into Lost with you guys. Expect lots of Lost email. So, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I will see.
Oh, we'll see him after that.
And apparently
that
that's
thing
it.
finished up. No, thank you very much, Tim. We definitely
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Yes.
Okay, we have some letters to read real quick. And sorry, Alpha Geek, if we're going a little long. I hope we aren't.
Kick us off if you have to, I guess.
Yeah, Effie says, "Hi, Bill and Anne-Marie. Last night's episode was good. I knew Rumple would become the Dark One again." She says Rumble, actually, but I think she means Rumple.
I would assume. Or Rumbell.
Could be.
Rumple.
I was thinking he couldn't resist and find some way or another to do it. However, I can't believe Belle went back to him so fast.
Thank you.
Oh, Belle. On another note, how did Rumple get the dagger back? Also, why did all of the Charmings plus Regina and Robin have to go to the underworld? Why didn't some of them stay behind? Why didn't some or all of the dwarves go too? Why will they bring back Hook? If so, then how? So many questions. I'm looking forward to new episodes in the spring. P.S. I'm so happy to hear that you're going to do a Gilmore Girls podcast.
I gotta work on that a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
I have lots of stuff done. There's just hasn't been time. Okay, and this next one is from Marshall. Hey guys, wow, that was a really good episode. The first half of the season has been really good. I did kind of like the Bear King. We'll forgive you. Seeing all of the Dark Ones walk down the main street was so creepy. Where was the boar? Ha! It was a boar. Dark one. The flashback with Hook was very good, and it was the perfect thing to remind him how to be good in the end. I'm guessing that Hook's new stepbrother will come back into play somehow. Things like that always do on the show. I liked seeing Evil Queen Regina again too. Zelina has been great all season, and seeing her there where they ended her story for now was great. Regina had a really great line when she had her sent off, and it was funny seeing Zelina fly out the window. The scene where Emma had to kill Hook was tragic. I knew something like that was going to happen, and it did. Here's my big problems with the episode, though. For one, where did Arthur, Gwen, and Merida go? They were a big part of the first half and never got a resolution to their storyline. Looking back, Arthur was not a very good character. I thought in the beginning he could be the ruler. He was just going a little too far to protecting his kingdom, but no. He's just flat out evil. Gwen did absolutely nothing too. My second problem was Rumple and Belle. I was originally glad when Belle left town. Rumple had been too bad to her to stay with him. Then she comes back. Why did you do that, Belle? He's still the same power-hungry man, which is proved by what he does at the end of the episode. Why, Rumple, did you take all the Dark One power? I thought you wanted to be good for Belle, but no. I guess not.
I think it was the writing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Rumple. I don't think the real Rumpelstiltskin
You don't think the real Rumpelstiltskin?
in real life when this happened in real life.
Nice. I really don't like Rumple anymore. No offense, Robert Carlyle. I don't think yeah. The plot between he might listen. The plot between these two is just messy. Other than that, I thought the episode had a great mid-season finale. I was so excited for the Underworld arc, and I can't wait to see all the characters who have passed. Please bring back Neo Riders! Out of 1,098 baby pistachios, I give it 923. Sincerely, Marshall.
Thank you very much, Marshall. Oh, yeah, just a brief programming note. I know for those of you who listen to the Gotham podcast,
yes,
like Tim did, we did have a podcasters roundtable scheduled for tomorrow night. I have a work commitment, so it's going to be on Wednesday night. The podcasters roundtable for this show
is next Monday.
Next Monday, usual night.
Yes.
So all squared away.
So there's that.
Okay, you want to wrap us up here? Sorry, I didn't realize that the last letter was one you had to read. But yeah.
That's okay. No. Okay, this one's from Ash. Hey, Annabelle, and so it begins, and our poor Emma and babies is reminded of Sith turning Anakin. The black spots from POTC. What's POTC?
POTC, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Thank you. Oh, and look, more hooked queen fodder. There's our fighting Emma back, and Snow, hashtag hope is in your blood. Rumple helping Belle go on adventures. All the yes. And Emma is trying to fill her savior title. Oh, the pain. It's a twister. Woo! Hit that yellow brick road, witchy. Well, there it is. True bombs and trickery. Bloody pirates does the shaking fist in the air thing. More family tree branches. Interesting. Poor widow Liam with it. What is with the renaming? Besides honoring people, that is. So Buffy and lightsaber Excalibur. I didn't watch Buffy. I don't watch Star Wars. I guess that's it. Emma the Slayer hath returned. Oh, Rumple, why? Sigh. Classic hero journey quest. Here we come. Gonna give this one 8.5 loophole potions out of 10. Cheers and hugs, Ash.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ash.
Thank you,
And
Ash.
that wraps up our second episode of Just Feedback for the finale. No, but it's a finale, so you kind of have to do that, right?
Yes.
We definitely appreciate it. If you guys have anything you want to send us for the Podcasters Roundtable next week, that's probably going to be a pretty packed episode. We might not get
we have
to
a
it.
lot of people.
Or in the
interim.
interim.
Or we'll just go really long.
Yeah, but definitely feel free. Shoot us any feedback you have throughout the hiatus here. Mm-hmm. We'll be getting some commentaries out to you in the new year and everything. Greetings from Storybrooke@gmail.com. Tweet us at GSStorybrooke. Facebook is facebook.com/greetingsfromstorybrooke. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. Anne-Marie, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at DeSimone.
And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Bill Meeks, like it says right there. You can pick up, pick up my fairy tale. It's 99 cents through the end of the year.
99
along with all my other books, bit.ly/King Sparrow or dogboyadventures.com will point you to all those books, all those wonderful, wonderful 99-cent books. Also, I believe next weekend there's going to be a couple free ones too.
It is the 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yeah, bit.ly/King Sparrow will get you there for the freebie. Okay, I think that about wraps it up. Like I said, we'll be back next week for the roundtable. We'll be back in the new year for more commentaries. We might do a listener roundtable. There'll be content between now and March.
Yeah,
for sure.
We need a break first.
Just stay tuned, and we'll get all those plans planned out and everything. But until next time,
greetings from Storybrooke. I like being able to see my camera.
That was very greetingsy.
That was awesome.
Definitely. Here, let me get this
closed
and saved. Yeah, that's the longest episode we've done in a while.
It's been a while. Thank you guys for sticking with us.
Here, I'm going to release Alpha Geek just in
We
case
will release you, Alpha Geek.
Just in case there's a show waiting in the wings. I hope we didn't run into anyone's time. I know there's someone that comes right after us.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I believe so. So hopefully you guys weren't waiting too long. If you were, sorry about that. We love you. We're sorry.
We're sorry.
We are very sorry.
We are sorry.
We are super sorry.
So, you like my fluffy poof thing? I don't know.
I like the fluffy poof thing too.
You see, but I keep inhaling it. And that's not exactly pleasant for anyone involved.
It's pleasant-ish.
No, it's not pleasant-ish. You only say that because you have a real pop filter now. Yes, Amy P, I did. I wrote you back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You have a Merry Christmas.
I wrote it. And you have a Merry Christmas. And you have a Merry Christmas.
Oh, also, guess what? I sold my old Mac Mini right before the show started. $500, baby.
You're so excited.
I am.
And hope to answer your question. I don't know if we're going to do any one-sifts just because we have a lot we need to accomplish over the hiatus with the We're So Lost, the round tables, trying to start 2 to 3 other podcasts. That right. The cool name one.
Yeah, that we haven't.
The cool name one that we haven't done anything with yet. Yeah.
And then, I'm also doing 2 podcasts at work. Too, which is pretty. So I'm gonna appreciate. I love doing the show, and I love doing Gotham too. I am gonna appreciate having a little bit of
a break.
Yeah, a little bit of a break from it's not really like sitting down to do a commentary, that sort of stuff. It's not that exhausting. What is watching the show twice, doing notes, writing rhymes, that, the other. It's gonna be nice just to sit down, bust out a couple commentaries every week and call it a day.
Also, for anybody who is in our exchange, I got my gift and here it sits waiting and taunting me right next to me because we're opening ours live after the exchange is over. And that's killing me. I'd like presents.
Yeah, we're going to be doing just like we did for the Universe Box gift exchange, the one for the show. And we're going to play all the videos
that we get.
That we get. Hopefully everyone sends in a video of them opening their present, and then we'll open ours live at the end of it. So it should be a good time.
Good times.
Definitely. Okay, well, I guess we should get off here so I can publish this. And Other Emery says, no explanation necessary. We'll still love you. We still love you too.
We love
all of you.
Yay!
Absolutely all of you. We're going to be doing a mega patrons hangout sometime soonish.
Yes,
for
so
sure.
patrons, keep an eye on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming soon. All right, everybody have an awesome night.
Keep it realsies.